This is Joe Pugh for IFL TV. We're here at the A Arena, Manchester, joined by Adam Morallee. We've just seen Sol Dacres make his Queensberry debut. Harder than expected, 10 rounds?
Yeah, look, Michael Webster never gone past 4 rounds. We thought he'd tire a lot more. And I think Sol's the first to admit it's not a great performance for the first 6 rounds tonight from Sol. He was a bit rusty, wasn't his usual self. I thought he came right back into the fight and won the last 4 rounds. Didn't like the point deduction at the end. I thought that could be a bit tricky, and he just edged the win.
Is it a sign of his character, though, that it might not be his best performance? He might not be firing on all cylinders. It was only 2 weeks' notice. Yeah. People have to remember, but he still gets that win and will move on.
Absolutely. Look, it was his Queensberry debut. We wanted something a bit more, impressive, hard-hitting. But Sol Dacres is a hard man to beat. Really, really hard man to beat. And sometimes you have to win a bit ugly. And tonight he won ugly, but he got the win.
How important is it to lobby for that British title fight next?
So he's English heavyweight champion who's defended it, right? He has to now be mandatory for that British title, and we'll be pushing the board. Me and the Warrens will be pushing the board very hard for that next.
Will it be Fabio Wardley?
Yeah, I think Fabio wants to win the belt outright. He's got to defend it 3 times. Should be Fabio v Sol next.
Have you had any discussions with Queensberry for further plans with Sol, as in moving his career forward? Because we know the depth of heavyweights that Queensberry have got, and it's hard kind of matching who do you fight in-house sort of thing.
Yeah, look, I think the way Queensberry do it is they've got a division now in the heavyweights. They've got Dacres, Adelaide, Moses Ituma, Joyce, Fury, Zhang. They've got tons of heavyweights, right? But in that level around Solomon, there's got to be a winner. There's got to be one that rises out of that British level, and I think it'll be Solomon. I think he beats Wardley. People see that performance tonight and think first 6 rounds wasn't very good. He doesn't beat Wardley. I think he beats Wardley. You've got Johnny Fisher just kind of coming into that level as well. And then the winner of that kind of almost mini tournament between probably Fraser Clark, who's not with the Warrens, Dacres, Wardley, Adelaide. Adelaide's kind of lost his kind of semi-final, whatever you want to call it. That winner, I think, goes on to the next level, which is Dubois. I think Moses Ituma comes into it quite soon. Probably Johnny Fisher comes into it quite soon, but that winner goes up. I think we're kind of losing Chisora and White from that level of heavyweights. Obviously, Joe Joyce is going to be moving up more to world level. The winner of that really gets a challenge at world level. And with what you're seeing with Queensberry, with Matchroom in Saudi, they love the heavyweights. It was such an enormous prize for the person who gets that top of the British level.
By yours and Sol's own admission tonight, it wasn't his best performance. Do you think Fabio's maybe watching that home and thinking, OK, I'll take that fight? He'll be thinking that he can come out favouring that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Fabio Wardley's a confident guy, deserves to be confident. Wasn't a great performance by Sol tonight. He'll feel very confident. But Sol Dacres is a world-level amateur. He was Team GB. He lost out to Fraser Clark. You can't underestimate what that does, and that's why he won that fight in those last 4 rounds. I had him down on the cards after 6 rounds. He won that fight because he's got class.
We talk about the heavyweight division, and there's been a heavyweight extravaganza for the 23rd of December announced this week. Was there any ever discussion for Joe Joyce to come back onto that card?
Yeah, there was discussion. We're looking to get Joe out early next year and then get him right back into the mix after he gets back in February.
Do you see the future of that mix being in Saudi Arabia the way they're moving right now?
I think they want to put a lot of shows on there. I think there's still always space for fights in front of the British fans. When you have all British fights, I think it's good they're in front of the British fans. But the money on offer in Saudi is big. That card on the 23rd is huge. People are getting, £5 million, I hear, for certain levels of fights, and it's hard to compete with that in the UK.
As a manager, you're always looking for the best fights at the right time. How exciting is it that we've seen now Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren on the table? Hopefully they'll work together, because surely for you want your fights to be in the best fights, and it could be cross-promotional platforms.
Absolutely. I think that's a legitimate gripe that a lot of boxing fans have, which is why aren't these fights being made. You've now seen Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn at the same press conference table. The broadcasters are commercial organisations, DAZN, TNT, Sky Sports. They want to collaborate. It's never a problem with the broadcasters. It's never a problem. It's the promoters. Thank you, Lee. It's never a problem. That's Lee Eaton there, just celebrating.
That's right, mate. I know my own dad.
You know your father, don't you? It's never a problem with the broadcasters. Never, never, ever. The problem is always with the promoters, and hopefully that's done now.
Excellent. Adam, thank you very much for being to IFL TV, and hopefully we see Sol in that British title fight next year.
Very soon.
Thank you very much, mate. Cheers.